Alright, here we have two window units that I got from work recently. Here we have both 5,000 BTU AC units. This one is a Gibson unit. I have the front cover off, but it says right there. It says right there, there it is, Gibson model JAX 052 P7A1. It's an R22 unit. See, it was manufactured in December of 2006, and it only pulls 115 volts. I believe on the side, actually it might be on the front cover, which I have right here. Here's the front cover. See, Gibson. This is just a basic unit. This is probably one of those Electrolux units. It's upside down. Yeah, there we go. Electrolux. 5,000 BTUs and 5.1 amps. Again, December 2006. And they even actually have a schematic right here. Of course, typical styrofoam. I already have it cleaned up. I actually cleaned this up, so it's a lot better than, it's not perfect, but it looks a lot better than it used to be. It's got a squirrel cage blower. I'm assuming right there is the capacitor, which is inside that shroud. Of course, mechanical controls. I've already adjusted the thermostat, which you can do because it's mechanical, so you can adjust this. Excuse the noise. Was able to get through here with the styrofoam. Power switch. One of the knobs had a cracked plastic right here. This one's also, well, this one's not as bad. The other one was all cracked up, so might have to get a new one of these knobs. It has a Recce Precision. There it is, R22 Recce. A lot of these Electrolux units usually have Recces in them, at least these 5,000 BTU units. And tested it earlier, it works just fine, which is surprising because I honestly thought it wasn't going to work, because when I got this, the whole unit was upside down, and you know, that's not really a good thing. But to my surprise, it actually works and blows cold air. So, again, adjusting the thermostat. It's pretty cool out here, so adjusted it pretty good. And as for this one, this is a Zenith. Although it's pretty much an LG. A lot of these LG units look like this. This is in worse shape. I did not clean this, but I honestly don't think I will. You got a lot more corrosion on here and rust. There's your capacitor. Same thing on here. I tested it. The capacitor surprisingly comes on, but I think this one had lost its charge, possibly, because it didn't really get as cold as this one. This one surprisingly doesn't have bad bearings, although this one, compared to the other one, I much prefer the squirrel cage blower compared to this style of blower. Again, basic control unit, high, low, on, off. Of course, your thermostat. It has this one has one of those Welling motors. And I believe this one has, well, I figured this one would have a Welling motor, but this one does not. It has a Zhongshan. Assuming it's some Chinese brand or something. It's a single phase unit. So that one has the Welling motor and surprisingly has no bad bearings. This one, not really much of a bearing noise either, at least not that I can tell. Spins pretty nicely. And I guess now, well, again, I already tested them, but now I'm gonna power them on. This one, I don't know about this one. This one's probably not gonna work. Last time as I was testing it, the compressor actually shut off and it didn't want to come back on, which makes me believe that it locked up. There it is, your typical LG compressor. But we'll try to fire up this one before we get to that one, because that one does work. Oh, and here's your schematic. This one doesn't have a manufacture date, but it does have a serial number, so I'll have to look it up and see when this one was manufactured. This one's also an R22 unit. Wonder if it even, yeah, there it is right there, R22. Of course, made in China. No manufacture date on the compressor, but there is a serial number. But let's go ahead and try and fire these up. Alright, I got that plugged in. Try the fan speed. See, it's still blowing some stuff out. This is low fan speed. Go to high. No bad bearing noise yet, but I have a feeling this one would have gotten one. The motor on this one is a lot more audible. It's hard to tell because of the wind noise and the blower that someone's using. But now I'm going to see if the compressor will actually turn on. Last time it didn't want to, or it did, but then it locked up. So this is what I'm assuming, so here we go. Okay, well, now it doesn't even want to come on because it thinks it's too cold. This one, obviously, well, I had adjusted it, so. Yeah, that one's not coming on. Well, I guess we'll do a shut off on the fan. These types of blower wheels always seem unbalanced, or they always seem more wobbly than they should. So I had another one of these and it was like that too, whereas this one, it's not as, you can kind of see it, but it's not as prominent as this one. Alright, I'm going to see if I can try and make the compressor to come on. Alright, now we'll do high fan startup. Most of the airflow comes in on this side, and then some of it comes on the very edge of this side. That's another reason why I don't really like these types of designs. I've seen some of these go on years with abuse, and then some of these just fail after like several seasons. And then of course, you know, they end up like this too. Like look at all that stuff. Try and get the compressor to come on, but it doesn't want to. That thermostat does not want to click. It was just working, but the thermostat probably thinks it's too cold outside. So I guess we're out of luck on this one. Maybe I'll try again later. But let's go ahead and move on to this one. Alright, got the Gibson plugged in. You can see. Now I'm actually put the thermostat all the way down. We're actually going to do fan only for startup and listen to the fan. A bunch of stuff on the back. Slight bearing noise, although it's not as bad. high fan, by the way. Quite decent amount of air for a 5,000 BTU. And this is low fan, 2 speeds. Yeah, slight bearing noise. It's pretty typical of these units though. And then again, it is pretty much approaching 20 years. So that's to be expected. Now let's see if we can get the compressor to come on. We'll do a silent start. This one for sure should come on ever since I adjusted it. So here it goes. There's their Retchie. Already starting to blow cold. It's hard to tell since it's kind of cool outside right now. I'll try and move this one out of the way. Quiet compressor. These Retchies usually aren't that loud. Some of them can be, but I know the new ones are a little different. But now this one's working fine. Blowing cold air. Getting warm in the back. So this one runs good, so this one's definitely going to be a keeper. This one, again, I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna mess with this thing since it's probably not worth trying to repair this thing in general. So yeah, I guess I'll put this one back together and we'll come back later, see if I can get the compressor to run this one again. Alright, I got the Gibson all back together. Again, I'll get a new knob for that. But it's working now. Well, I have it unplugged now because I actually moved the Zenith into a better spot. Well, I wouldn't say better spot, but I moved it out in direct sunlight so that way the thing can actually engage. So this is just a temporary spot. But I got the thing plugged in, so start off with fan. Wow, this is actually vibrating. I don't know if it picks it up, but the control panel is vibrating slightly. Again, it could be because I have it on top of a recycle bin. Anyway, low fan. Doesn't seem to vibrate as much. Now, the real question is, will this compressor start up or will it fail? Oh, no. Yeah, it's done for. Yeah, I think this compressor is done for. So, leads me to believe that it's just purely locked up. Yeah, there's no point. So yeah, this thing is pretty much just junk. Should have recorded it whenever it was working, but like I said, this thing was in bad shape, so I figured it wouldn't last as long. But oh well. So, guess that's the end of that. We're back in the garage. There's the Zenith cover. You can see it's all rotted out, rusting up there and stuff. Here's the Zenith front cover. Model ZW5000T8. 5000. This one's 4.8, but it's not much of a difference. R22. And yeah, I'm assuming that's the serial number. So, and of course, made in China. The front of this, or the top of this, yeah, this thing has been seen. That thing has seen better days. Put the Gibson right here. I'm probably gonna cover it up. So this one's definitely a keeper. Cleaned it up as best as I could. I know some stuff down there that's actually hard stained, because believe it or not, the bottom of this is actually hard plastic. I don't know if you can tell, that's actually hard plastic compared to bare metal. So maybe that has advantages, or maybe it doesn't. There's an LG portable unit. So I guess that's it for this video. So take one good look at it, and that's it.